Hey everyone, welcome back to Tip Tuesday. Last week we talked about pushing the air out of your canopy, getting that canopy in a nice tight cocoon, as well as not sweating on the parachute. Today, because a lot of the feedback asked for this, we are going to go over S-folds and bagging the canopy. Alright, so laying down here I've got a nice new Saber 2 210. It's not a napkin, and it's going to be a ton of fun to pack. Alright, so picking up where we left off last week, the canopy's in a pretty tight cocoon. From here on, I'm going to do the S-folds. So there's many different ways to do this. This is the way that works best for me, and that we recommend. Most importantly, you need to be able to control the slider throughout your S-folds. So practicing this way and getting experience at it, you will be able to control the slider. If you have another way that works for you, sweet. Check this out though. So I'm going to start out by taking my knees, replacing my knees with my right hand, so I can keep control of that slider grommets down there. Now they're not able to slide around at all. And from here, I need both hands to do the first S-fold. So I'm going to take my left shin, place it right there at the top of the canopy. So I'm maintaining control of the top of the canopy. And now I'm able to do this first S-fold down here. For most parachutes, doing the first S-fold to about the top of the warning label is appropriate. For smaller parachutes, the S-folds need to be a little bit smaller, so I may work my way down the canopy, make that S-fold a bit smaller. For bigger parachutes, maybe a little bit further up the parachute than the top of the warning label. This is a 210. I'll probably go, an inch past the warning label, but it's not an exact science. Just practice and you'll get better at it. So I'm going to take my left hand, push it down. I'm going to take my right hand, kind of pinch those slider grommets together and do the first S-fold just on top of my left hand. When I do this though, I want to be able to get my left hand out of here without pulling all this fabric back as it comes. So I'm going to just kind of gracefully try and, before I'm pushing down too hard with my right hand, slide it out, and now I can apply pressure downward with my right hand, holding the slider grommets and the slider in place, not allowing it to move. And then I'm going to replace that, kind of flip it over, so now I'm pushing down, makes it easier to control it. Like we talked about earlier, getting that nice tight cocoon really helps in these stages, because the tighter the cocoon was, the more this fabric is going to stay controlled. So from here, I'm going to do that second S-fold. Before I hop off with my left hand, or with my left leg, I'm just going to show you. I'm going to kind of curl my fingers like this under the parachute, and then I'm going to be able to pinch together to make sure I have both sides of the fabric, both sides of the parachute. So here, I'm going to curl my fingers underneath. Now I can see both sides moving like that. I'm going to pinch them together a bit, lift up, and do the same type of thing where I'm rotating my right hand, kind of peeling it backwards, and now I'm applying pressure down with my left hand. And here I'm going to start to kind of straddle the parachute. Some people take their knees and put it on top to try and keep the air out, keep everything in control. If you're able to do that well, awesome. I find it easier to put my legs around the parachute to prevent it from sneaking left to right. Now my legs are there, so I'm kind of containing everything in this space. With my right hand, I'm still applying some pressure down to hold that slider in place. Not too much pressure, but just enough. What is just enough? You're going to have to practice and find out. So from here on, I have my S-folds done up pretty well, but I obviously need to figure out what to do with all this stuff. It's super easy. I'm just going to apply some pressure down. I'm going to start to kind of bunch it all up. Just focusing on the right side right now. And then I'm going to take the top skin of this fabric, pull it out enough that I'm able to kind of wrap it around all that extra gunk. So there, I have a pretty nice neat corner there to put in the bag. So from here, I'm going to ignore this side. I'm just going to focus on this side right now. So I'm going to take the bridle attachment point. I know that's supposed to be in the middle. I'm going to prepare my bag by lifting up the parachute a little bit, sliding the flap of the bag underneath, and then just pulling the corner of the bag around that canopy. Just like that. Okay, and I'm still pinching with my left hand until I apply pressure with my right leg. Remember, we're just trying to control everything. Don't give up control. So often people hop off or they let go of the parachute and they give up control of it, and that's where it starts to get messy. So my right knee is controlling all this, and Now I'm free up to organize this entire part. So I'm going to do the same type of thing. I'm applying a bit of pressure down. I'm trying to get the air out of this fabric up here. I'm just kind of bunching it up. I'm rolling it under. And I'll take the top skin, kind of tuck that around to make a nice and neat corner right there. And I'm going to pinch that corner together and take my bag and shove that corner right in there. And if you can see, I'm kind of pulling on the flap of the bag as well as the top. And I'm not taking my left hand out until I'm holding the parachute from the back, because when I take my left hand out, if you pull a bunch of that parachute out with you, you're just reversing what you just did. So I'm going to push forward and pull my left hand out. And then at this point, it's pretty nice in there. I'm going to hop off. I may come to this side. And if I need to clean it up at all, I can stand it up like this and tuck it all down in there more, get some air out of it. But to do this first locking stow, my favorite way of doing it is to just roll the bag forward like that and bring the rubber band to the grommet. We'll cover stows and line stows next time, locking stows, all that stuff, types of double stows versus single stows. We'll get into that next time. But for now, thanks for tuning in. I hope this helped. Cheers.